In this video, I want to do a quick walkthrough and breakdown on how to use the Proton NMR data table specific to IB chemistry and the IB chemistry data booklet. So just kind of starting off here, I have all of the Proton NMR data and their chemical shifts with different functional groups listed here. So this is what's given in the data booklet. Now, it's really important to keep in mind as you're kind of interpreting this particular data table is that what you're looking for when you're trying to match up chemical shifts is the things that are bolded within the table. So you're looking for these bolded protons here. I'm just going to go through, highlight the ones, but we're going to take a look at each of these in a little bit more detail. Okay, so you're looking for these protons that are bolded within the data table. Now, a couple of sort of general things here. Sometimes you'll see dashes and sometimes you'll see R. Basically, they can both be kind of interpreted as being alkyl groups or connections to alkyl groups. So for example, in this first one here, that dash means that this CH3 group is next to another carbon-containing group, or it could just be another proton as well. Okay, so it could be a proton or it could be some sort of carbon-containing alkyl group. So that's important to kind of keep in note as you're trying to interpret this data table. Now, let's jump into the specifics to take a closer look at some of this data. So the first few sort of chemical shifts I've pulled out are all the ones that have to do with alkyl groups. So you can see we've got a CH3, we got a CH2R, and a CHR2. Basically what these three are trying to tell you is that this is for a primary proton, this is for like a secondary one, and then this is for a tertiary one. So we're just looking at what else is sort of attached and around that particular carbon, and you get slightly different shifts depending on what else is there. So for example, in this bottom one here, this CHR2, basically what it's saying is we're looking at this proton here, which is attached to a carbon with two other R groups, and then this thing here could be a proton or it could be another R group. So it doesn't really matter what else that is, but that would give you a chemical shift around 1.5. Whereas if you had the next one up, that's looking at a carbon with two protons now, an R group, and then attached to something else. So we're looking at those protons there. That gives you the chemical shift around 1.3 to 1.4, and so on. The ones below are kind of self-explanatory. So we have a proton next to a carbon-carbon triple bond. We got protons that are beside a carbon that's attached to a halogen. And then we have the protons involved in a carbon-carbon double bond. So I think those ones are pretty self-explanatory, but sometimes it can be really helpful drawing out the diagrams like I've done here for the primary, secondary, tertiary ones in order to help you sort of understand and interpret that chemical shift data. So I think the tricky sort of part comes to just really understanding all these groups that have oxygens in them, because it does kind of differ a little bit depending on what's attached where. So let's go through, let's highlight these protons here again that are bolded. So we're looking for the bolded protons. And for example, you could look at this first one here. So this first one here is an ester. So we know we have an ester functional group. And what this one is saying is that we have the proton on the carbonyl side. So we're looking at these protons here, and then it's attached to something else. It could be another proton, or it could be an R group. This dash doesn't really tell you what. It doesn't really matter. It could be either or. So we're looking at these protons here on the carbonyl side, and that's going to give you a chemical shift of 2 to 2.5. Now, its counterpart is this one down here. So this is also an ester functional group. But now we're looking at the protons that are attached on the oxygen side of the functional group here. So we're looking at these protons here. Okay. And then again, this is attached to something else. It could be a proton, could be an R group, doesn't really matter. But we are looking on the opposite side of the ester group, essentially. And so this is going to give you a chemical shift 3.7 to 4.8. So you have to take a look and really interpret, like, where are the bolded protons and where are they in relation to the functional group. And so a couple of other ones we have this one here is our ketone. Okay, because we have a C double bond O with an R group, and we're looking at the protons on one side of that ketone. And then we have an ester group here. Okay. So, or sorry, not ester. That's an ether. My goodness. Okay. Glad I caught that. So that is our ether group there. We've also got our carboxylic acid here. And this is the proton on the OH of the carboxylic acid. We then have the alcohol functional group. And so that's the proton on the alcohol. And then finally, the last one at the bottom, this is our aldehyde specifically. Okay, so you can see the difference of, for example, the aldehyde to the ketone's quite different because that proton's in a slightly different place, even though there's, we're going down one carbon in terms of the actual structure. So it's kind of really interesting to take a look and sort of dive into some of these chemical shifts and see how they change depending on what the functional group is. All right, and our last sort of set of chemical shifts here now are related to protons that are next to benzene rings. So we got three sort of circumstances here. The first is this one right here is just the protons on the benzene ring themselves. And so they give a chemical shift around 6.9 to 9. It's quite a wide range. We also have a proton that's on an OH group specifically beside a benzene. So this is considered to be a phenol group. And then finally, if we have a methyl group attached to a benzene ring, so this is a methyl attached to, or a methyl benzene, then the protons on those methyl groups are going to give us around the 2.5 to 3.5 chemical shift. So really important as you're kind of interpreting these chemical shifts, looking at what the bolded proton is, interpreting the dash as either could be another proton or it could be an R group, and making sure you're looking at which side of the functional group you're on, especially when it comes to the esters, are all really important concepts as you're trying to interpret these Proton NMR data. Hopefully that helps. That's it for this video. We'll see you in the next one.